Hey guys, 1 minute I'm vibing in the 6th row at Red Rocks, and the next I'm face planting into strangers and getting carried out by my firefighter husband like a wounded concert casualty. This one's got music, memories, and a meltdown in the bathtub, and a whole lot of real talk about showing up when life does not go as planned. It was such an incredible night, and then it went downhill fast. I feel like I love a good concert, and if you've ever been to a concert at Red Rocks in Denver, Colorado, like, you know that you have truly had just this beautiful, unique experience, okay? This amphitheater, I think it's the only one in the world with these natural acoustics that are carved into this 3 million-year-old, like, red stones of the Rocky Mountains. And like, not only that, but let's just set the scene here. It's like 6,450 feet above sea level. So good concert, ready to go at Red Rocks. What's better than a good concert at Red Rocks? A free concert at Red Rocks. Yes. Okay, so here's what happened. Dustin Lynch and Sister Hazel, they were putting on a benefit concert for wildland firefighters. And so all of the local fire guys, they got to put in for a raffle for some free tickets. Well, my husband and several of his other buddies, they won tickets. So we were so pumped. And then not only were we so pumped to go, but then when we saw that the tickets were for the 6th row, are you kidding me? I about died. I was so ready for this concert. And I just knew that we were going to have an absolute blast. And for as much as we knew we were going to have a blast, I will also tell you that there were so many unexpected, just surprises, I guess you could say, that the evening would have in store for us. So the first, like, let's just talk about the first surprise. So I'll talk about my own experience, right? So Sister Hazel comes on, and it's just one of those 90 bands, right? It blows my mind the way that music can just tap into some of the, like, deepest parts of your brain and pull out memories or emotions like that you hadn't thought about in years. As the band is playing, I'm immediately time traveled back to sitting on this couch in this tiny little, I think it was a 2-3 bedroom apartment with my sister and my dad and the 5 other dudes that he was living with at the time. Like, I was just washed in this beautiful wave of humility as I had this moment of, like, remembering just how little we had, and yet, like, how much love and fun was always surrounding us during that season. And I sat in that moment of just this, like, own it felt like one of those, like, humble beginning type stories, and just thanking God for how much life had happened since that little old apartment, and how beyond blessed I felt, just carefree, like, swaying to the beat. So it was just this completely euphoric, nostalgic moment. Just as I'm sitting there and I'm recognizing, like, my own beautiful bliss that I happen to be in, I look over and I start to realize, like, what an incredible night it's already been for my hubby too. Because he is the type of person where it's like his roots of friendship, they just run so deep. And to know that, like, we just had come from tailgating, okay, with some of his friends that he's had since, I think, the 4th grade. And then to be seated in a section full of, like, his fire brothers. Gosh, there was something just so special about, like, just being all together and not being on shift and just being able to relax and, like, have every person passing by just acknowledge, "Hey, Tollinchi, hey, Tollinchi, hey, Tollinchi." Like, you just knew that he was right where he needed to be too. So all of that, like, just everything about it was amazing. Then so this is just like the start of the show, okay? So it's already setting up to be a great night. weather is perfect. The music's perfect. The company's perfect. And then Dustin Lynch comes on. And oh man, again, okay? I don't know if it was the 6-row seats. I don't know if it's the Red Rocks acoustics. I don't know what it was, but just maybe it's just how much we just absolutely love Dustin Lynch. He just sounded incredible, and he puts on one heck of a show. We're having moments where, so we record one of our son's favorite songs at Stars Like Confetti. He loves that one. And then we're dancing and we're singing at the top of our lung. And then we're recording little bits of Cowboys and Angels because our daughter, she loses her mind anytime she hears, which is mommy and daddy's wedding songs. Like just all of it, guys. I'm telling you, it was amazing. So the show starts wrapping up, and naturally what happens, right? Crowds start to get thinner. So we're starting to say our goodbyes. The show officially ends. The lights come on. And while everyone else goes to the right and the left to clear out, I see the band start coming to the front of the stage. Well, you bet your bottom dollar that I give that hubby the look, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm beelining it to the front. Like I'm going to go get an autograph. I'm going to go get a guitar pick or something. I jump down row 5. Boom. Solid. I jump down row 4. Not so solid. Not so solid at all. I go straight down. I basically fall on folks standing there as I feel my ankle roll and kick right on out from underneath me. It takes me down to my knees. I feel hands tuck themselves right underneath my arms and lift me onto the bench. Obviously, it's my husband. And then he swoops around into the front of me and he's looking me in the eyes like, what happened? And I just look at him and I'm shaking my head side to side. And immediately he knew, as much as I did, that it wasn't going to be good. So I tell him that it feels just like it did last time, about 10 years prior when I tore 2 of the 3 ligaments in my ankle. I let him know that, hey, I know me, I know my body. I've got T-1 hour before my adrenaline is gone and I'm in bad shape and we got to get down this mountain now. So he wraps my arm over his shoulder. I'm hobbling out of the main amphitheater, like down the first set of stairs. And then he looks at me and he just says, this is dumb. He's like, this is dumb. Get on. I'm carrying you out. And of course, I knew he was right. So I didn't argue this time. And so I hop on his back. Literally just as I'm hopping on his back, we see like this parking lot that it's gated off. And we had seen some of the band trucks there earlier that evening. And so we're like, oh yeah, again, you can bet we skip that fence line. We've got event staff yelling at us and everything like that. Everything in us is just telling us, go this way, like get down the mountain. Event staff is yelling at us. They're going to call security. Like, oh, it's saying that we can't go that way because it's too steep. It's not, it's not safe. We're walking away. Security. We're laughing at this point. So here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing about my husband. Like, ain't no one going to stop him from taking care of the people that he loves. Like, especially, but I say like no one's going to stop him from taking care of the people that he loves, but really no one's going to stop him from taking care of somebody who needs him. That's who he is. So he continues to calm me down. They're calling security in the background. We're just laughing. We're just trekking down the side of this mountain to the parking lot. He carried me the whole way. He took every step for me. He got me to the truck. He took that dang boot off before he would have had to cut it off. He drives, picks up the kids, gets me home within that 1 hour mark where I just knew I wouldn't be able to take that pain any longer. What a night, right? So now some things you may or may not been able to gather about me if you've been listening to the show for a while. I'm very aware that I am one of God's most stubborn creatures. And you bet your bottom dollar, again, that I was going to make it to the next morning instead of going to the ER if I could. So I sat there on the edge of my bathtub, submerging my entire leg in an ice bath just to numb the pain while I dished out some pretty harsh words with my maker about the situation that I found myself in. And I know that that conversation, it was for me and him. But I also just I just want to share that at the end of the day, I was angry, right? And I think that's a pretty normal reaction. I imagine, to some extent, especially when things you don't go as planned, that's again one of the very first things we do is we start asking why, and you're kind of saying, okay, come on, timing. Like, is there ever really a good time? No, but really, like right now, and of all the things like this. And yet, I'll also share that in the midst of my tears, I found myself still sending up thanks. Just like thanks for the wonderful night. Thanks for the man that God has placed alongside me, like doing this whole life thing with me. Um, Thanks for the strength mentally, emotionally, physically that man continues to provide for our family every day. Thankful for the memories of the humble beginnings and just down a path towards love and such a good, full life. And I don't know. I guess maybe it's that thirst for more of that good life. Like it's the hunger to want to just keep showing up with my yes in his plan that I was just ultimately so grateful for. So I don't know, angry and grateful. And I think that there's space for both of them to coexist. So, let's add another plot twist to this story because this all happens 2-3 days before Easter weekend. Yay! And 2 days before we're hosting our annual Easter party where we were expecting 50 plus people in our home. And then it's also just a week and a half out before I'm actually supposed to be on a plane to attend an event that I've literally been dreaming about for 2 years. And here I am now with a busted up ankle. So this one, I knew this was just going to be tough, like physically, mentally, emotionally. I knew this was going to be tough. Long story short here, okay? We go through the process. We get the x-ray. Sure enough, it's fractured. And then just as the doctor starts to tell me my treatment plan, I inquire about the necessity for an MRI. Because again, I'm not trying to be too vague here, but I always just I think this is a perfect example of the way that you should be an advocate for you and your health. Like I could not lift my ankle and the swelling and the bruising and the pain were out of control. And to me, it did not just feel like a fracture. So there is a way to respectfully and professionally stand up for yourself and what you may believe your body needs. And I mean, healthcare, it's a system meant to serve the masses, but all too often it seems it's forgetting that system is actually made up of individuals who need care. So if you think you need something different, it harms no one for you to just get a second opinion or to just speak up. So that's what I did. So a few days later, I go for an MRI and it is exactly what I thought it was, ligament damage. But, and I will tell you, I'm so thankful, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. No complete tears. And now here I am with a nice full diagnosis of at least a 6 to 12 weeks in a boot instead of surgery. So, whew, I'll take it. Still can't put weight on it. And by the time that this podcast recording is released, I will be about 24 hours out from being on that plane to Dallas. I have no idea how I'm going to get through an airport on crutches. And there is this tiny voice in the back of my mind just telling me it'd be a heck of a lot easier to just stay home, which is how I know that I have to get in that room. I want to be there. And I know there is something so special waiting for me there in this community so I'm going to the Amberley Lago Unstoppable event. I just know there's something so special waiting for me there in that community. So I'm going somehow, some way. That's that. Unjuggling an injury. Okay. So I know this episode probably didn't really even touch, okay, on the mental blow that can take place when an injury slows you down. And honestly, like, I just don't think I'm ready to unpack that one publicly yet. Like, still in a lot of pain. So I'm feeling in rare form already. And we'll need to work through that one. So I just know there's some of us out there, right? Like myself. We don't stop. We don't know how to stop. And when we're forced to be crying our eyes out, angry in a tub of ice, like, yeah, the mental side of an injury, here's what I'll do. I promise that I will unpack that another time. So, hey, heck, give me 6 to 12 weeks, right? And I'll be sure to check back in. So with that, the Unjuggle the struggle summary in this episode today is maybe just a few takeaways. So first, first is just don't underestimate the power of good music, because it can take you back. And how lucky are we that we've still got some incredible musicians, like, just using their gifts to continue to bless us all. Another one, appreciate those around you who care for you. They are so, so special and probably not shown gratitude nearly enough. Third, it's so important to know your body, tune in, pay attention, and then to treat the vessel you have been gifted with kindness, whatever that looks like for you. And then last, that when you're on the road to something big, Murphy's Law is going to say that there will be setbacks, that there will be trials, and you will get to decide how you want to armor up and conquer those challenges. So just remember, everything is happening for you, for all of us. And I know, for instance, like, I will grow from this. You will also grow from whatever hurdle you're facing this week too. So just remember, we've got this, okay? And until next time, bye. Hey, thanks for listening to today's episode. It means the world to me that you're here to ride in the struggle bus with me, and that you're willing to consider different perspectives, tools, and techniques that just might provide a little bit of relief and get you one step closer to the abundance that is available and waiting for us all. I hope you take a moment to grant yourself some grace where you've been denying it, some love where you didn't realize maybe it was right in front of you, and some faith where you thought all was lost. If this episode had an impact on you, would you please share a comment with a review? I'd love to hear what landed for you, and it helps us get the word out to our fellow struggle bus riders. So please review what was impactful for you. Just know these episodes are a pure labor of love in a space where I'm growing alongside you. I'm evolving every day, and I look forward to all the ways and the things and the perspectives and opinions and choices that will change over the course of time in my own life, day to day. Until next time, just know that you are loved, you are divinely cared for, and in the struggle, the journey of this life really is beautiful. I'm glad that we're in it together. Cheers.